Oh, those are Aquitaine separatists. How long until that flips? Is that still working through the same system? Yes, it does. 34 months. A while. Oh, Provence, Granessa and Castellana. So these guys are going to try and split soon. Fine. Alright, we have another 8,000 men, so we're going to have 20k to send at their 18. They are marching into Aganois, which is actually a good thing for us, because that means it's another fortified province, so we're going to have the fortification bonus. They are locked in. Let's go ahead and march in. 20,000 versus 18. We do have the cavalry superiority. We're still replenishing, but we're at full manpower. Isabel to Trastamara. Isabel I reigned as the Queen of Castile from 1474 until her death. Her marriage to Ferdinand of Aragon became the basis of the political unification of Spain under the grandson Charles V. After a struggle to claim her right to the throne, she reorganised the governmental system, brought the crime rate to its lowest it's been in years, and burdened the kingdom of the enormous debt her brother had left behind. Her reforms, and those that she made with her husband, had an influence that extended well beyond the borders of their unified kingdoms. Isabella and Ferdinand are known for completing the Reconquista, ordering conversion or exile of the Muslim and Jewish subjects, and for supporting and financing Christopher Columbus's 1492 voyage that led to the opening of the New World and the establishment of Spain as the first global power which dominated Europe and much of the world for more than a century. Castile gets the servant of God until the death of Isabel I, giving the following effects: unrest reduction, missionary. Ferdinand II Trastamara is a 666, becomes the new consort. Good grief. Also, personal union? No. They just have a ridiculous consort for a time. Right, so the battle is being waged. Discipline's the same. My morale is slightly higher. And they have no leader, so we should win this fight very one-sidedly because we have our decent two-shock general here. That was not even a contest. So we are going to send some troops to go and attack this. We will split off the minimum required to siege it. I'm aware that Provence wants to rise, so we're going to start marching over here to Provence with the rest. Oh, we'll leave the cannons behind though. Right, and our ships can now start collecting trade in the West Mediterranean. Although we are no longer being embargoed, so my trade power bonus here is actually worth something once more. Oh, in fact, I have two places transferring trade here, so I would actually be able to get another 20% trade power. So we would go up to 47%. If I wasn't collecting in France. Right, I'm going to do another experiment. We're going to check this. So we're making 16 ducats right now. We're going to change you to a transfer. So we're going to push money into here. We're going to continue protecting trade in the Atlantic because our percentage there is going to rise. XD fam, thank you very much for the follow. Large revolt. Prosenza gets large revolt. Although we are well aware that no one likes paying taxes, you think that people would have the sense to realise the glorious victories on the battlefield require a little more taxation. It seems we have to explain them. That's the place that's about to rise up anyway, so we're going to be killing a bunch of people. I see a lot of provinces, a lot more provinces than in EU4. Is the world map like 4 times the size bigger than vanilla? I don't think it's bigger. They've just cut the provinces up and done a little bit of optical illusion in that the unit models are a lot smaller than they are in vanilla, so they take up less space. Also, yes, provinces are no longer bound by borders, or by being contiguous. So, for example, Trovesh here is actually split up into tiny little pieces, though this is all one province. Oh, don't annex Burgundy. They get events to annex the Low Countries, so that's how it was in 1.12. Oh, 1.24. I can't count, apparently. Don't know about now. MEIOU and Taxes look so advanced as a mod for E4. Yeah, this is basically the black ice for Europa Universalis. It's like absurdly in depth, to the point of some of the features being just straight over my head. But I'm getting into it. I'm understanding a lot more about what's going on. Hath death not quenched its thirst? The plague will soon be upon us. They can see it in the adjacent provinces. It has unsurprisingly arrived in Italy. Thanks, Genoa. Thankfully, it's not a terrible plague. It's only moderate. That's arrived on our borders. But may get worse, I'm not sure. Oh, you know what's gonna... The plague's gonna hit Provence, which is exactly where my armies are going to be positioned. While many die, many also survive. It seems this is not as bad as most plagues. That's comforting, I guess. We could tech up. Although we have a bunch of cores to do. So I'm going to tech up militarily, but not admin. And yeah, that should be fine. The plague has come. The first reports of plague in our provinces. We have not been spared the lash. Right, siege has been successful. I'm actually going to sit in the province next to where most of the revolt risk is. Like I said, I actually want these to fire so I can murder them. And then have the unrest reduction. Fixing to code dive to see if the annexation for Burgundy is the same. Okay. In my France game, Burgundy broke off through event. That's what I was kind of suspecting might happen. Especially as Charles is indeed in charge of Burgundy right now. I believe that Charles II is Charles the Bold. How many people do I have as the same dynasty? Burgundy and Aragon. Invade them? You mean invade Burgundy? I don't want to invade Burgundy. I like having the vassal swarm. Vassal swarm is good. It allows me to siege stuff without using much of my own manpower. Although actually the siegeathon in Aragon wasn't terrible. Well, you know what? I'd like to start drilling these guys again. Maybe once this bunch has popped. There's some more that are going to rise up from there. Core and core. Increase autonomy by +10 to give -10 unrest, which would allow me to core some of these places much quicker. You know what? Do it. You can do it more than once? Oh, but this reduces absolutism. Which is also known as centralization. Although my centralization is almost maxed out. So I am less averse to doing it. Though I think I'm only going to do it in the places where we're actually super close. And that should allow me to start coring some more places. There we go. There's just Girona and Ziberosa. Oh, I can't do you anymore. So Ziberosa is going to have to wait. Why are you so high? Communication efficiency is an issue. Massive amount of separatism. which lasts a bloody long 40 years. Ouch! And then war exhaustion, which is going to be going down. We didn't lose that much centralization. Anjou University, class of 1462. Sic oculus, sic il manus, sic ora ferabat. The 1462 graduating class of Anjou University is exceptional. As the graduation festivities die down, whole classes of fresh graduates report for duty across the country. Where shall we direct them? To the administration, we get admin points. Sow 1,000 flowers, we get prestige, or let them go seek their own fortune. I don't really want to spend money on this, so go seek your fortune. Speaking of spending money, we are in a position to do so. Any other cheap commune halls? Yeah, commune halls are very cheap, and I would like to build some more of these so we can start building up the urban classes. So I am going to do this by trade goods and then see if there's anywhere really valuable where we want a commune hall. Like Normandy produces cheese. I like cheese. I think that cheese should be encouraged. Although these are urban goods, aren't they? Sorry, rural, not urban. If I wanted to see the urban goods, I should be looking at this. Although, I doubt that they can produce urban goods without local, or without a commune. Camembert. Ugh. I will support your cheese-making industry if all you make is Dutch cheese. Or the really, really creamy German ones. Those are really good too. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and start building level 1 communes. Or we could build a marketplace in Pas-de-Nuit. We've already done that. Pas-de-Caux needs one. Pas-de-Caux could also have a university. I like the idea of that too. And this does increase the base urban gravity. More so than a trade power place. I'm going to do the university. Because Pas-de-Caux is one of the other places that I'm trying to encourage trade. Need workshops to start producing urban goods. Okay. Those are also quite expensive. And they don't have the urban gravity of the town halls. Those are really strong for it. Though they do increase the modifier. Oh, there's the Provence rebels. Murder, murder, murder. Oh, and we were taking attrition just for standing there. Whoops. Vesh is claiming they have no general, really. Oops. Haha. Murder, murder, murder. Victory. Do a quick consolidation. ×2. Bye. Bye. Right, so that's another victory. The next ones are going to be up here. I think I'm going to take the risk and just start drilling. Then once that hits like 95%, then we'll undrill and we'll go and stomp them. Or maybe 90%. Probably 90%. Admin has leveled up. We are still waiting on this, but that's only 7 points. I think we want to go ahead and get printing press. We want to try stay as modern as possible. Ooh, that's quite a big one. Ooh, that's a very big one for us. More cavalry shock and land morale. Aragon's having pretender rebels. Wouldn't it be a shame if they won? Get rid of Isabella and Ferdinand. Oh. Oh no, that was Castile. Sorry, not Aragon. Yeah, Isabel's still here. Alright, why are you so ticked off still? 14%. We really need this place to just kick off and then we can go and stomp them. Looking at the shock modifiers between infantry and cavalry, cavalry is still pretty good. Yep. Although infantry are catching up pretty quickly. But I suspect it is because of my cavalry numbers are part of the reason I've been doing so well in this battles where I really had no reason to do well. No right to do so well. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the forts because I don't need them right now. May as well make extra monies. Cha-ching. Reinforcement probably costing me, yeah, 5 ducats a month. But we're still positive cash, so cash flow is still good. You know what? This would be an excellent opportunity to check up on estates and the education, seeing as I am now spending more money on education. It's going up, though extremely slowly. I'm going to go ahead and increase funding by a further 10. And the court is also going up rather more quickly too. Could increase funding by another 10, sure. And both of your loyalty is still ticking down. Yep. I can't revoke anything from them for a while. One of the things I would really like you to do is improve surf conditions. That will get you to 12% loyalty, which is dangerous. Once it hits 11%, then they basically don't recover. But 6% more rural population growth while that's in effect, and it does last a full 10 years. We do have the plague still ravaging us, though. This is another big plague. Damn it, Kaffa. That's the stupid Mongols. Because historically that's how it happened. The Mongols attacked and sieged down Kaffa. The Genoese merchants that were hiding in Kaffa fled to Genoa, taking the plague with them. And that's how the Black Death spread. Catholic faith grows. The King of Congo has converted. That's cool. Wait, did Flanders Marguerite III ever inherit Flanders at the start, or did she die before becoming ruler? Marguerite did something, but she didn't inherit Flanders. Because Flanders is still independent. I think I chose the event where Artois was spat out by Burgundy, because I did take Artois separately. I think that was Marguerite. Wow, my force limit's now 44. Crikey! That's pretty high. Yeah, my army is still the biggest in the world, although Turkey is catching up. Not the Ottomans, Turkey. And I am fairly sure that they were called the Ottomans at one point. I wonder why they changed. There's still Osmanli in charge. They are a Turkish government. Is this a different type of government than the Ottomans then? Oh, that's true. King of the Congo converts. Okay. What's the Congo? Military order founded in Militieu. All good Christians had a duty to spread the good news of Jesus Christ to those who had not yet heard it. Missionary orders attracted Catholics from across Christendom to areas with heresies in order to learn their ways and convert them. These international missions were made possible through the oversight of the Vatican. Cool, I think. That unrest is going up, not down. Cheeky. There are two Marguerite, one for Artois and one for Flanders. The one for Flanders is starter heir and she lives to be ruler, then Burgundy annexes Flanders. Well, that never happened, because Flanders is clearly independent and has been a thorn in my side for a while. And we're a long way away from the start of the game now. Over 100 years. I wonder if I can increase the amount of trade power that they're steering to me. And yes, I know I went over the threshold where I can call them into wars. I'm so much bigger than Flanders, so I'm expecting to be building that up pretty quickly with them. Savoyard separatists. They're at 90%. That's going to be a year, so we're going to stop drilling. And move you here. Ready to jump upon them when it is time to do so. Right, I want to know how wealthy these guys are to see if they're actually going to start building me buildings and stuff. You still have a lot of wealth. You used to have 2,000 though. Something must have happened to you. And you have more money than they do. The state is now up to 34% influence. And definitely more and more of the country is owned, or not owned, by the estates. Oh no, it's because those are territories. Right. Yeah, that's a thing too. We have 9 territories still. And 11 states. Although my state limit is 9. So I must have got 2 free states somewhere. So even though a new state is one of the things I will get with the new technology, that's probably not actually going to help me. Greater nobles don't build anything except for their estates. Burkers build actual buildings. I'm not sure that's true, because look here, lesser nobles building built. Greater nobles building built. Greater nobles building built. Greater nobles building built. They've actually been fairly prolific. I'm hoping that's things like roads and castles. Because the places that don't have castles, I'm hoping they build them there. Although they still haven't here, for example. Papal consistory meets. Even more of my cardinals have died. 3 of them died this time in a row. I'm down to 1, with no chance of inheriting. We better fix that. Spend all of the influence. Who needs influence? Plague ends. Yay. How do you get rid of the plague? It just ends. Like just happened there. Estates don't build roads. Well, that's unfortunate. Cultural uprising. The people of Osona are tired and angry with your government. They feel you are a foreign oppressor and want to become independent. So 5 years of separatism Osona for 2 years. Or we can create the Cortes of Aragon, which gives effects, apparently. Is that something to do with actual Hernando Cortes? I doubt that. That was later. The guy who conquered the Aztecs. I'm going to say we will crush them. We'll deal with this short term. And then long term. Better. You are taking a bunch of attrition. Let's split you in half and move you out. I set buildings built as a message so it will show up as a pop-up. You know what? That's a really good idea. Again, message settings. So this is going to piss me off in multiplayer. When a building is finished. Pop-up. Close. That's a very good idea, thank you. I was thinking, this is a very long 28th of February. No, Mordred, the game has just paused. Duh. Corruption's coming down pretty quickly. Greater noble corruption plus 0.6. It used to be over 1. Reducing their influence has definitely had a positive side effect. And their loyalty continues to sink. Oh well. I really do wonder how long their memory is. Because we have been absolutely brutalizing them. There's the revolt. Oh, it was a different revolt. Production research flawed. I'd rather lose the prestige, thank you. We will go and send you to go and intercept, and then return. A new pope. Portugal has become in charge. That's unfortunate. Because there's suddenly going to be a bunch of papal people coming in. We have become an elusive shadow. Ooh. We are a level 4 intrigue person. Is that elusive shadow or is that level 3? Don't remember. Spy networking. Spy network construction diplo rep, but a reduction to prestige. I have a feeling that this guy's father was as well. Military access from Nassau. Who are you fighting this time? Nobody, again. Oh, you just want access to your lands. Yeah, no. Considering you had an Italy game where after 1550 I revoked all privileges and they stayed at 0 for the rest of the game. Apparently a very long memory, that's unfortunate. Military access from Holland. Whom I would have thought were over here. Whoa, I was completely wrong. You are fighting against Switzerland and Geneva. Switzerland are fighting against Austria, Gorinthia and Hohenzollern. Yes, please kill each other. Victory! Huzzah. Right, I never did double check to see whether this new trade setup was making me money. It's not. It's definitely not. I still have the biggest share, but it's not enough. I could build some more ships though. When's the next level of trade ship available? Next level. So in fact when we level up we'll start building some new ships. How's that?